This Mike Tyson, as fast as he was, as hard as he hits, I maintain he's the greatest.
Yeah.
The greatest heavyweight ever.
Joe Rogan has been outspoken in his belief that Jake Paul should reconsider his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson. Rogan didn't mince words, offering a blunt assessment of Jake's decision to step into the ring with a boxing legend like Tyson. According to Rogan, Mike Tyson is not someone to take lightly, especially if you're still relatively new to the sport. With decades of experience and a legacy as one of the greatest fighters in history, Rogan believes Jake Paul is in over his head and out of his depth in this matchup.
Talking shit about him being gay.
Joe Rogan, a seasoned boxing observer with years of experience in the sport, has been closely following Jake Paul's career. While Rogan acknowledges that Paul has scored some impressive wins, he believes that Tyson is in a completely different class. Mike Tyson is not just another fighter. He's a legend, and even though he's in his 50s, he remains a formidable force in the ring. Rogan highlights that this upcoming fight is unlike anything Jake has faced before. It's not like the YouTuber bouts or even the retired MMA fighters Jake has previously fought. Tyson's unmatched strength, experience, and legacy make him an incredibly tough opponent, even now, after all these years.
It's in his mind still. That's in there. There's a dark chamber in his mind that he can open up.
Yeah.
And I think he's got it open.
Jake Paul may have proven himself in the ring, but Joe Rogan believes that when it comes to facing Mike Tyson, Jake is stepping into territory he's never experienced before. Tyson, even in his 50s, remains a terrifying presence in the boxing world. Rogan, who has witnessed Tyson's power firsthand, is convinced that no matter how much training Jake has, he's not ready for the kind of raw strength and knockout ability that Tyson possesses. A single punch from Tyson, Rogan knows, can change the course of a fight, and even a career. Tyson is one of the greatest fighters of all time, and Jake simply hasn't faced anything like that. Rogan's advice to Jake is clear: step back. He believes Jake should seriously reconsider stepping into the ring with a fighter like Tyson. At the very least, Rogan urges Jake to think twice before risking his health and career against one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing history. He understands the stakes are high and warns Jake that this fight could have serious consequences. The fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson is officially set for November 15th, 2024, at the AT&T Arena in Arlington, Texas. It's one of the most anticipated events of the year, already generating massive buzz online. Fans are eager to see if Jake can pull off the impossible, take on one of the greatest heavyweights in history, and hold his own. The debate about who will win is spreading across the sports world, with opinions flying in every direction. Tickets sold out in minutes, and social media is flooded with excitement from boxing experts and casual fans alike. However, not everyone shares the enthusiasm. Joe Rogan, known for his no-nonsense opinions, remains unconvinced that Jake should be going up against Tyson. Rogan doesn't just want Jake to step back from this fight. He wants him to really think it through. "Jake, I need you to think carefully about this," Rogan says. "This might not be the fight you want to take seriously. Take a step back and consider everything. Maybe it's best to stick to what you were doing before you got into boxing. Keep your focus there. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later." With so much at stake, Rogan believes that Jake should carefully consider the risks involved in taking on someone like Tyson. The decision to fight could change everything, and Rogan's advice is to take the time to weigh the consequences.
Yes, we do. Mike now weighs 230 pounds, and he's got these muscles in his forearms. So he's sitting there, and he's a different human. He's so intense that I was like, if this table was closer to him, I would be nervous.
Joe Rogan isn't someone who holds back when it comes to his opinions, and his recent remarks about Jake Paul's upcoming fight with Mike Tyson reflect a clear, honest assessment of the risks involved. Rogan has been watching Jake Paul's boxing career unfold, and while he's given credit where it's due for Jake's hard work and improvement, he has serious doubts about whether Jake should go toe-to-toe with someone like Tyson. In fact, Rogan has made it crystal clear that he believes Jake Paul should seriously reconsider this fight. Rogan's stance is not just a casual suggestion, it's a warning. He sees this match as a high-risk gamble for Jake Paul, one that could have serious consequences for his boxing career. For Jake, this fight is an asterisk make or break asterisk moment. Winning could catapult him to a whole level of respect in the boxing world. But if he loses, it could do irreparable damage to his reputation and future prospects in the sport. This is a pivotal fight, and Rogan thinks Jake might be stepping into something he's not fully prepared for. Jake Paul has come a long way in his boxing career. He's had some impressive wins, knocking out former UFC fighters and stepping into the ring with athletes who have a considerable amount of experience. That's no small feat. However, Rogan is quick to point out that fighting someone who used to compete in the UFC is one thing. Facing off against a legend like Mike Tyson is a completely different challenge. Tyson is not just any boxer. He is one of the greatest heavyweights in history, known for his raw power, speed, and unmatched skill. Even though Tyson is now in his 50s, Rogan believes that his experience and knockout ability are still very much intact. Jake Paul, while a solid competitor, is still relatively new to boxing, and Rogan feels he hasn't yet earned the right to fight a legend like Tyson. Tyson's punches are some of the most feared in the sport, and Rogan believes that Jake simply isn't at that level yet. If Jake wins, it could change everything for him. It would prove that he belongs at the top level of boxing and would earn him tremendous respect in the sport. Beating Tyson would elevate Jake in a way no other victory has. He would be seen as more than just a YouTuber turned boxer. He'd be a legitimate force in the sport. However, the stakes of this fight are so high that a loss could severely damage Jake's boxing future. If he gets knocked out or completely beaten by Tyson, it could raise doubts about his ability to compete at a top level. Fans and critics alike would begin to question whether he's really cut out for the sport. Such a loss could hinder his chances of securing major fights in the future, and it could leave a mark on his reputation that's hard to erase. Joe Rogan has been closely following Tyson's career for decades. He knows what Tyson is capable of, and his assessment is blunt. Tyson's power, even now, is unmatched. Rogan recalls Tyson's prime years, where he became the youngest boxer ever to win a heavyweight title, and went on to dominate the division with his combination of ferocity, precision, and incredible punching power. Tyson was known for knocking opponents out early in fights, with 12 of his first 19 victories coming in the first round. His rise was meteoric, and his legend has only grown since then. While Tyson is now older, Rogan points out that Tyson's strength and skill haven't disappeared. Jake Paul has never faced anyone with Tyson's pedigree. Even the best athletes in the world have had their careers altered by Tyson's punches. A single strike from